Obviously, Instagram deleted all the black people's Instagrams this month. Um, and so that gives us the opportunity to touch base on new, well, new lives, but on old memes, but new lives. Okay. And this first one, bro, we're gonna get into it. Let's give like 30 seconds just in case people log in, then we can get feedback because that makes the lives brack. And we just gotta trust. That's our only option, is to trust. So, boom, boom. Shit. How you look and go like this and then say, notifications did go out. Okay. And yeah. So, give us a sec. Hold on. Get tan, get drunk, 4 block West Coast. Uh, Hold on. So we got our phone, keys, wallet, beer, tan, getting drunk. Okay. So we were gonna say that. One sec, guys. Hold on. One sec. Live. All right, guys. So we were gonna say that people got to stop being horny for new generations. Like Google is great. We use it all the time and every day, and it's something that we need to acknowledge is great. But Google is fallible, also, just like any human is, right? Generations are 20 years long. Okay. Again, generations are 20 years long. You have to be old enough to have kids, right? Now, is there exceptions, like a ninth grader that can have a kid? Of course, that's the exception. Okay. Are there exceptions, like a 50-year-old can have a kid? Maybe, right? Can they? Is 50 too old? Anyway, you guys understand. So yeah, there's exceptions, but a generation is 20 years. You got to be old enough for the next generation to begin. Okay, a generation is in fact 20 years. So let's be accurate. Okay. Now, an era is 15 years. That's an era. And then what's 10 years? A decade. Okay. And then you get into 5 years. That could be considered a term or an education. Okay. 1 year is a year. 1 season is a season. Okay. So you got season, year, and then you got what could be called a term or an education. And then it goes into decade, era. And so decade's 10, era's 15. And then the generation is 20 years, guys. And if you want to go to a half century, what is that, 50 years? And then a century is 100. So those are the names for the damn time kind of stints, right? What's Terry talking about, guys, in the comments? That's funny. That's funny. Hey, we got a troll early. There's a troll early. Okay, so we say all that to say this, guys. The millennials are from 79 to 99. Okay, that is that's 20 years, 79 to 99. Okay, those are millennials. Everyone after Kobe Bryant. Now, Gen Z, 2000 to 2020. Okay. That's what the thing is. And then Gen Alpha is all the little babies, like the 4, 5, and 6-year-olds. And so that's wild that people spit and cough for attention. He needed attention from the Messiah. May wonder if the audio picked that up. We're gonna save this live. Yeah, yeah. So the little babies, right, are Gen Alpha, and obviously we're or Gen Z is right after us, and then we're the millennials. Before us was Gen X. That's 1960 to 1979, right? Maybe it's a shorter generation by a year, but that would be Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey. Those are all Nirvana. Those are all Gen X, right? Heck, even Obama, you know, those are Gen X, guys. Those are Gen X, man. So, and then that leads into the baby boomers, working backwards, who are, you know, they go up to like what? They go from 40 to 59. You know, again, maybe a shorter generation. But guys, the war started in 39. Okay. Everyone talking about the baby boomers started in 45. That is Google propaganda, because they're horny for the next generation. They're horny for the next generation, so they need to fast track generations and turn them into eras. Era is 15. Okay. An era is 15 years. Okay. Now, time out to make sure the sun's hitting us. Yeah, it's hitting on our left front face, but that the era is 15 years. And it's funny that when we look even like 20 degrees to our left or right, whatever human is there is already looking at us, praying. Fucking trash ass Americans. But like we were saying before, before we got gawked at by the fucking American. Google and whatever is, you know, the motor or the engine or transmission behind their behavior is, for whatever reason, horny for new generations and trying to fast track generations into eras. Those are eras. Okay, that if you Google generations and millennials and, you know, questions of that nature, they're making them into eras because they're trying to fast track the next generation, and they're trying to tell you that Gen Alpha is like 10th graders now, and Gen Alpha are like first graders. You guys. It's like, let generations play out. Let them be 20 years. What are you in a hurry for other than to sell propaganda? Okay? Or distribute propaganda, we should say. Okay? So again, an era is 15. A decade is 10. A generation is 20. That means the baby boomers, they started in either 39 or 40. Right? When the first tour came back from the war, when the first tour came back from the war, they that's when the baby boom started, right? So that would be 1940. So, oh, here it goes. Bro, this guy, Luminol. That is so funny how he's hell-bent on this Viper Balab. We did look him up, though. That's funny. That is so funny to be like fixated like that on one guy. But we looked him up. So, but again, back to what we were talking about, if the baby boom started at the first tour, that'd be like 1940, maybe 41 at the latest, and then it goes to 59 or 60. That's, you know, 19 or 20 years. Give or take a year, right? Give or take. But that would lead into Gen X that goes from 60 to probably 79, right after Kobe Bryant. And you got to think, Michael Jordan, is he a baby boomer or is he a millennial or Gen X? My fault, guys. My fault. Watch someone just take that one specific part that we misspoke. But Michael Jordan is a Gen X. Okay, people are trying to paint him as a baby boomer flying through the air. He is a Gen X. Him, Mariah Carey, Nirvana, Michael Jackson, Eddie Murphy, Denzel Washington, Tom Hanks. Those guys, those are all Gen X guys. Those are 90s guys. Deion Sanders, right? They're Gen X, you guys. And then we came after Gen X. The millennials are from 79 to 99. And there's people trying to say that they were born in 96 and that they're Gen Z. Do you realize if someone was born in 1996, that they're 30 right now? You guys, that's a millennial. That's a millennial, okay? 96 is just a young millennial, okay? Now you get into 2000, from 2000 to 2020, and you got Gen Z. Those are the guys that are like 24 right now. That's Gen Z. But you guys, people got to stop being horny for a new generation. Like, stop being so horny for a new generation to start. It's okay that Gen Alpha is just starting, right? That's okay. They don't need to be 10th graders by any means other than selling and distributing propaganda, okay? And it leads into our next point. Okay, glad the notifications went out. 6 people. We're getting the sun. We're getting drunk in the sun and letting the vermin watch the Messiah for free, which is the price of fame. But yeah, just in case, we're gonna give a summary of what we just said, and that's that Gen Z is from 2020 to the first one which is 2000. Okay, it's 20 years. People are trying to paint generations like eras. An era is 15. Okay, an era is 15 years, you guys. A generation is 20. Okay, all us millennials, we're adults now. People younger than Kobe Bryant. And so, yeah, Michael Jordan is Gen X. People try to fast track the generations and make Michael Jordan a baby boomer. He's a Gen X, man. He was in the 90s flying through the air. He's Gen X, man. That was the 90s, you guys. That's Gen X. So, the best to worst, Gen X is mid, and then millennial is the best. And so, we know that name. That might be the first. This guy might be the first foreign Judas. And we've had probably anywhere between 19 and 26 Judases in the history of G. Johnson, 12 years, and that includes everyone from my own relatives to my schoolmates to fans and acquaintances. I guess we should leave fans out because there's too many to count, but acquaintances for sure. But they're all American, right? This is the first Judas to be foreign. Still remember that. That was wild. Because, we trust people, right? And that's, when you trust people, you end up taking losses. You move forward and you trust people to perform or to be at least even halfway sincere. but you end up taking losses that way, and that's fine, right? Because we're going, obviously to a place that the last person that went was probably Jesus, right? In order to be the American Messiah, which we already are, but marketing and promoting it is a different story. Okay. Again, feedback makes the lives brack. Now we are, which transitions into eras, right? Because eras are 15 years, and we just finished the LeBron era, aka the super team era. The super team era in American pro basketball. And the super team era is an era, okay, give or take 15 years, give or take a year. Eras are 15 years long. Okay, we're now so since we finished up the super team era, we're now in the international era, so to speak, right? Which have a new champion every year. It's a new era, right? LeBron did his era from 05 to 2020, and okay, that was the LeBron era / super team era. Before that, you had the expansion era, because the NBA was expanding. So you had Magic Johnson, who else? Bird, Jordan, Olajuwon. That's the expansion era. So you could win, like Jordan, you could win 6 titles in a matter of 15 years. You could win 6 titles, and that's fine. So, and then before that, we had the merger era. Okay, so the merger era would have been the beginning of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird's career. So, Astrophination. Yep, same mom, same dad. We know that line for sure. We know that line for sure. That is a marquee phrase in G. John's folklore. Thank you for being here. The feedback makes the lives brack. And so, but yeah, we're talking about NBA basketball and the eras, you guys. The era that started it was the Jim Crow era. Right, there were only 8 teams. Only half of the United States had the ability or even opportunity to play pro. So you could rattle off. What did Bill Russell get? 9 championships. Like probably 9 championships Bill Russell got, and so. But yeah. Yep. Feedback makes the lives brack. Astrophination. Ant is here. He says, that's so funny. Yep. That's what it is, bro. So we're going to get things going. Ant is here. He popped in just to type that. That's funny. But we've been here 19 minutes, 4:30 West Coast, getting tan, getting drunk. And again, so Bill Russell won probably 9, right? Because in the Jim Crow era, you could win easier, right? Then the merger era came with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And again, if half the talent is in the ABA, that makes an easier NBA. It was just easier. So, but that's what it was, bro. So that's exactly what it was. They did their thing. NBA merged. That's the merging era. So we got, 1940 to 1965, or 50 to 65, 65 to 80, like 82 to 98, and the super team era from like 98 to, it's hard to say. We'd have to do the exact math. But now we're in the international era, so much harder to win, right? That's why there's a new champion every damn year. Every damn year. New champion, man. So, but yeah, eras are 15 years. Now, obviously, it might be 16, right? It might be 16, right? But eras are 15, maybe a year longer. Okay, Harold, we started off talking about generations, how people try to fast track generations, and Google is wrong. Generations are 20 years. Millennials go from 79 to 99. And then we went into eras of the NBA, right? How much easier it used to be in Jordan's expansion era. The expansion era was so easy to win. So if Jordan played in the Jim Crow era, he would have 13 championships, right? He would have just never lost, And if LeBron played in Michael Jordan's era, he'd have 9. LeBron would have 9 championships. In the expansion era, the super team era was harder. Okay. And then, the hardest of them all is now. The international era is the hardest era to win championships. And this era will evolve into the next. It's only, 6 years old, bro. This era is only 6 years old at most. But that's what it is, bro. It's just topics, bro. Normally we get on live and complain. Normally we just get on live and complain because we're being surrounded by vermin. But now that Instagram has taken down not all, but a lot of the black people's accounts and mixed people's accounts, we get to touch base on topics that we've may have posted about, over the past 10 years. So, and then we get to save the live and let it accrue traffic, like promo, bro. We'll take that John's promo. That's some promo. We love that John's promo. Hey, that's a promo. We love that John's promo. Yeah. So we'll deal with that, you feel, and then see what kind of women are out, and if there's any women at all, hopefully there is some. That's all we can ask, is that they exist, and just that they exist, man. So yeah, we go so long without seeing fine women, bro. It's something else. It really is something else. At least we get to go live and complain. Yeah. Let people take pictures of us and video. Let people pray to us. for free. Some just stuff like that while we get tan. Just stuff like that while we get tan, you know. That's about it, man. Normally we're complaining, bro. Today we had to address some things just because Instagram got taken down. So, you know, it's fine to redirect, bro, right? Redirection is different than a total switch up. You know, you can adjust, you can respond. You know, that's all normal stuff, bro. The switch up is that's what happens to us, you know, a lot because of our fame. But yeah, man. That's what it is, bro. So 4:39, getting tan, getting drunk. It is hot, man. We just need some damn fucking women to just walk by and at least walk by, bro. So there was one more thing. We thought about talking about. The generations, the NBA. But we might let it go, start up another live, see if the notifications go out. But we need to go viral. And we need to recruit fine women. Both of those things, very difficult. Now, after they deleted our main account, our backups went viral. So our backup pages went viral 6 days in a row, guys. And so, you know, we'll take it. You know, that's our role, that's our objective anyway. So whether it comes from a backup page or gjohns.bomb homepage, the main one, you know, we'll take it. Because damn it, we gotta get this traffic humping, and it's gotta be stupid traffic. Smart people, but stupid traffic. The amount of total views and interactions, so to speak, bro. That's what it's gotta be. Very tough stuff, man. That's the type of stuff that is so difficult to do. And people let other platforms do it, right? Like a World Star Hip Hop, you know, who wrote us asking a bunch of questions. We could have just responded to their interrogation, but you know, who the fuck are they? Who the fuck is that person that thinks that they can interrogate Pimpin', the American Messiah? You know? So, hey, we'll take it though. We'll take it. But I do always wonder what would have happened had we signed with World Star. Wonder what would have happened, man. So, really wonder what would have happened, bro. But now we just get tan and drunk and verbalize about being around the vermin. Verbalize about the possumhood that we live amongst, man. Just verbalize it and just be like, damn, this is something else. But you would think with 5,000 people that they would have sent out 5,000 notifications, but hey, maybe it's less than that. So That's it, man. Hey. Yeah, bro. Getting trashed. So we'll just keep getting trashed, you know. Recruiting women, which is that's the primary objective. And so we'll see how it works out. Yeah, bro. Yeah. This shit is insane, bro. This fucking day to day. This day to day is insane. But yeah, man, they took our Instagrams. We had 30, now we only got 20. So we are lucky to still have 20. And we're lucky to have this YouTube, which is now, by default, is the primary. This would be the primary G John's outlet. By default, right? It used to be Instagram. But, hey. We'll deal with it, bro. Yeah, just interesting stuff, man. We got an outdoor drinking spot that we should be a little more happy or appreciative of, but you know, if there's so rarely women, it's hard to appreciate it. It's just like, damn. It's just like, damn, what in the fuck? But we gotta deal with it. We gotta deal with it, man. And so, man, this shit is rough, gotta be honest, man. Like, someone's gotta ask YouTube and Instagram, why even have subscribers? Or followers? Why even have them if you're gonna withhold and refrain from, sending out notifications? Is it just to save on your own bandwidth, or is it too taxing on the server? Like, man. Like, which is it, bro? Which is it, man? Yeah. Bro, you look 30 degrees in either direction, some fucking vermin is already looking at you. Okay. what you talking about? Harrow, says Harrow.
Stop. No.
Okay. Are you American? Are you American? Okay, we read your name. Are you American? Because we appreciate the feedback, you guys, but look at that comment. You know, if he's foreign, then we'll be like, okay, you're foreign. But if he's American, then we have to just feel bad for him. Right? We have to feel bad for him if he's American. And yeah. But c'est la vie. Like, someone explain what he just typed. He just typed that to the American Messiah. Man, you talk about a ballsy move. You talk about a ballsy move. Typing that to the American Messiah. We'll take the trolls. We'll take the trolls. Let them do their troll thing. Okay. Are you American? Are you like sounds like you're using your first language. Maybe you're British or interesting. Because damn. Damn. What a ballsy typer. A ballsy comment from a ballsy guy to the American Messiah. He's taking a long time to respond too. Like he's thinking about his response. But again, the feedback makes the lives brack. We'll take trolls the same way we take functional people, right? So he's refraining from saying his nationality, right? Which means he's probably outside the United States, right? Talking to the American Messiah. And again, we welcome all trolls, fans, haters, friends, acquaintances, and onlookers, because we are generating traffic. That's our role. So we welcome his trolling. But why be so shy after you troll? Like, if you're gonna troll, be a troll, okay? Why go troll shy, right? That's a little, man. So, but we'll take it. All of this, you know, things like this is like further illustration why we are the American Messiah. Like, what the phoenix is next to the vermin, you know, as if our footage is somehow, needing a supplement, right? We get demonstrations like this, and wish there were more of them. Wish he had buddies that were coming in here and joining his little escapade, right? Because we like to have fun too. So now he switched he went from a psychological angle to a economic angle, and now he's on to what would this be, a health and fitness angle. So he said, drink some water, and it's a guy. It's a guy. Okay, so this guy is British. And so here's the thing. This guy's British or Australian, or for that matter, South African. But he said, instead of sick, he said ill, right? And then he tried to supplement it with some American slang, right? So we got a British guy that's LARPing. And let's be honest, if you look at his name, he's probably first generation. He might have got there when he was in the 2nd or 3rd grade. Or maybe 6th or 7th grade. But he is British, because in the United States, we'd use the word sick. He used the word ill. He's British, or Australian, or anywhere that speaks British English, right? So Australia, UK, or South Africa. So, and that's why he's taking so long in between responses, is because he's LARPing American English. If you look at his interjectory slang, which is funny because even Americans do that, depending on who they're around. Like if they're around like someone like me, they might try to LARP a different dialect, so to speak. They might try to LARP. So. Do you know the word dissecting? Do you know what that means? If you know what dissecting means, is English your first language? Abdullah Farouk. What is your first language? Is it Arabic? He said dissecting, bro. Like, this is basic dialogue. This dialogue is so basic. The fact that he thinks it's dissecting. So here's an example of our neutral, our exhibition, our warm-ups are his Super Bowl. And for that matter, most Americans, when they're around the American Messiah, it's their Super Bowl, right? Our exhibition, like, bro, we're in neutral right now. He said dissecting when he meant dialogue. He meant dialoguing, but he said dissecting, right? We are dialoguing, right? We're responding. dissecting would be like a little different than that, right? Much stronger, much more effort. This is, bro, this shit is easy, bro. Like, you realize how elementary, like how rudimentary your trolling is? Do you understand that you are in the kindergarten of trolling, if that makes sense? Like, and that's why we wish you had more guys with you, so that it'd be more fair, right? Because right now it's almost like, you know, it's funny because like there's so many vermin in the United States. There's so many just squirrely guys, you know, jumpy, twitchy, subhuman fucks, and they run up the same way that he kind of ran up in these comments. They run up in real life. And then who does it look like the aggressor is? It looks like the Phoenix is the aggressor, because the Phoenix is so far superior physically, mentally, experientially, right? Academically, athletically, interpersonally, so far superior that the rodents that scurry up and scrape next to you end up looking like martyrs next to the American Messiah. When the Phoenix spreads his wings, bro, the vermin smolder. Just wish he would respond faster, right? Because obviously we can talk faster than he can type, but boy, he's typing like again, this is the most elementary trolling that we've gotten in a while. We were hoping for like at least a graduate level, or at least wish there was 10 of you. If there were 10 of you, then maybe you could you know, be elementary with it. But there's only one of you, so you kind of struggle. So, yeah. So do you have a 6-figure job? Is that what you're saying? Because that's pretty successful. That's pretty successful, a 6-figure job, bro. What sort of occupation? What sort of occupation do you have with 6 figures, man? That's good. Good out of you. It's funny that a person with a 6-figure job is you know, rendered inferior, right? That's the funny thing, bro. But that is the funny thing. But again, glad you're here, because otherwise we would just be monologuing, which is cool, but it gets old. It gets old, bro, gotta be honest. It gets old monologuing. So that's about it, man. We're out here trying to function, bro. So that's all it is, man. Going live. We get it going. So yeah, man. Are there any dimes that can just supplement the American population? I mean, bro, the American population is really struggling. The American population is so trash that it's like, not the kids. The kids are great. right? They're just running around being kids, but it's what they become in adulthood, man. Like, it's what people grow into. It's the sad adulthood that people grow into, man. But 50-minute live. What was the next topic? We were gonna talk about another topic, you guys. We went from generations to NBA eras. Oh, Jet Life. Yeah, Jet Life, obviously, and we appreciate talking to subscribers. You know, especially the guys that have been in here since 2016, or you know, maybe earlier, but you know, sometimes as early as 2016. We appreciate hearing the feedback, bro. You know, we're usually on Instagram because it's more active, more interaction, you know. So we're more inclined to go participate there. But like, you know, we'll be back here. So it's more of a summer thing, honestly. It's like a summer. It's like a summery thing. Like going live because you know you get tan, you get drunk, and then you go live, right? And you might talk to people you haven't talked to in 4 years, right? So, but yeah, feedback makes the lives brack, man. We're trying to think of that other topic we were gonna touch on, bro. There was one more. But we'll just have to get it later. So, but yeah, if you did just get here, we started the live off talking about generations, bro. Gen Z is 2020. Well, until 2020, but starting in 2000, man, that's Gen Z. Okay, generations are 20 years. You know, the war started in 39. That means the baby boomers, they go